Kia ora everyone, Charlene from charlenesays.com. Just giving you a little wee recap of my About a Books week. I did manage to read 5 books, but it seems that all my other goals were a little ambitious. I was hoping that the husband would cook for me while I was reading, but he was gone for 3 of the days. And I only took part in 2 of the challenges. I think there were 2 reading challenges every day up on the About a Books website, so I didn't do very well. But I wanted to share what I did manage to read. First, over the first 3, on the first day and the 4th day, I managed to read Blood Promise, the 4th in the Vampire Academy series. On the 2nd and 3rd day of the readathon, I was pretty busy with work, helping in the kitchen for a conference. So that just took out a chunk of my time. The second book I read was The Truth About Alice, and I think I managed to read that in a day. It's pretty short, and it's a standalone, so yeah, it was just something that I could start and finish and, know the whole story in one go. My third book was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I picked up the graphic novel when I was in the library last week. I didn't realise this was released as a graphic novel, and I know that I wouldn't have read the novel because it was a bit too dark for my kind of reading. But the graphic novel is pretty good. I read it in a day, sort of comic style images, and I thought it was a nice mix having the black and white images for current day and the colour images for the time loop, which was interesting. But the grandpa sort of always said that it was a nice, bright, happy place to be. So the colours for that worked really well. The 4th book I read was The Duff. I've never heard of The Duff before, and the author writes in the back how they'd heard the saying the duff being used. So maybe it's like an American thing, but I've never heard of it in New Zealand. But it's a good book, quick read, or semi-quick read. I think I read it over 2 days, Friday, Saturday possibly. Bianca Piper, she's a high schooler. She hates a guy, ends up sleeping with him, and the boy that she has a crush on finally has given her the time of day, so she's in this little triangle for a wee bit, and yeah, she makes a decision towards the end. So and at about 8 p.m. on Sunday night, I still had, 4 hours of good reading time to go. So I went to Twitter and I had 2 books as potentials. One was Animal Farm and the second was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Animal Farm was just a little too wordy for 8 p.m. and potentially being my last read. So I went with this one. This has been on my readathon list for I don't know how many readathons. I'd start it and then didn't think it was all that interesting, so I'd always put it down. But I started it and finished it in about an hour and a half. So it's really fast, really interesting to hear about the different monsters that are throughout the Harry Potter series, and a whole bunch that aren't actually in the series either. So I managed to finish this one on Sunday night, last night, which left me about an hour and a half of maybe I could pick up something and not read it all. But I had started Forgive Me Leonard Peacock before the readathon, so I managed to read a few chapters of this too. But, I'm about a third of the way through now, and the guy is still alive, so I don't know if he's ever gonna die, so I'll just have to keep reading. So that was my 5 books for the About a Books readathon. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a link in the comment section below if you've done a video. I'd love to see what you've read throughout the week.